Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the daily market update show. And today we'll be talking about a couple of AI stocks in the semiconductor sector, as well as the usual, where we break down the stock market on QQQ, as well as the S&P 500. And we'll go over the six big tech stocks as well, which is Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Apple. And as well as I'll be giving you guys the support and resistance levels to play off of, and as well as actually be giving you guys a play that I'm looking at to short the semiconductor sector. And I'll be giving you guys my entries and detailed stop losses throughout the videos and potentially give you guys ideas to play off of. All right, let's get started. So we are looking at, let's go to the first stock I'm looking at. So these three tech stocks, AI stocks, and in the semiconductor sector is starting to look like a blow off top. So these are the ones that I would not be buying up here at the moment. You can see that'll be Nvidia, AMD, as well as AVGO, Broadcom. So let's take a look at Nvidia first. And the reason today I'm seeing relatively weakness on Nvidia for the first day so far. So obviously, if it becomes relatively stronger compared to QQQ, let's say tomorrow, then I'll be wrong and I'll be stopped out. But I'm not shorting Nvidia. But let's say, but obviously when I'm shorting the semiconductor sector, I have to look within the sector to see all the stocks that is holding in that ETF. So let's take a look at the hourly chart. So we formed a double top with the yesterday's high, and you can see QQQ is up 1.2% today. All right, and then you go to Nvidia. Nvidia is red for the day. So that's relatively weakness compared to the tech sector overall. So yesterday it was actually outperforming compared to today. So when a stock, let's say, runs quite a bit and it starts to show relative weakness compared to the market itself, then that can potentially be a potential top that we may be looking at. Obviously, let's say we were thinking about that as well over here. That could be potential top. If we're wrong, let's say we put a stop loss over the top here, it breaks out bullish here. We could either take profit down here or we just get stopped out, break even. Right now, I am looking to have for an attempt to short this semiconductor sector due to the stocks that are inside the semiconductor starting to look a little bit relatively weaker. So let's break down Nvidia first, and then we will take a look. So Nvidia right now obviously has no resistance. We're going to talk about yesterday when we closed here. We need some price discovery before we can even look at any resistance because there is no historical price levels up here. But then today we have a clear resistance now. You can see this double top right here, double top with yesterday's high. And you can see that big sell off at the end of the day. And while if you look at QQQ, it was only a small sell off, right? So that's relatively weaker. So there may potentially be a lot of sellers in this level now. So we'll see if that potentially holds up. But right now we need to break this prior low right here for any substantial change structure of Nvidia. It still looks good for the bulls as long as, let's just say, if the bulls just bounce right here, that's essentially a ascending triangle and it'll be a bull break if we do break above this, right? So we got to be cautious of that. And because there is no change in the structure at the moment for the bears, and it's completely still in full bull control, even though we did have a relative weaker day today compared to the overall market. So we just got to be cautious of that. And see this making a higher low, higher low, higher low. And as long as we continue to make a higher low every time we bounce, then there's a good chance we will break above this area. So we need more data tomorrow. And I forgot to tell you guys, tomorrow, Monday, is a holiday. So make sure you finish up your trades or on Friday, just in case. And as well as we got our sentiment data today, which is fear and greed is still 81, same as yesterday. And this was surprising. I was guessing it was going to be the low 40s to high 30s. We got 45% for bullishness sentiment for this week. And so I would be really cautious into next week, especially after 2 weeks of super bullish sentiment, as well as we're very extended in the charts in QQQ, especially the QQQ. even in a bull market, we don't get that extended. This is probably due to a lot of shorts getting squeezed and continuing to short while the thing is market is going up, and hence we have such an incredible run on and being super extended on the weekly time frame as well. Fed rate hikes, we went over this. If you weren't here yesterday, the dot plot is now 5.6%. So Fed wants to hike 2 more, but the market doesn't believe it, and the market just believes that we're going to hike 1 more in July, and then we're just going to hold for the rest of the year. All right, nothing much for calendar for next week. Just these ones, not that big of a deal to me. So next week is going to be a little bit more chill in terms of economic data, and it's going to get back to the chart. So yeah, so that's potentially this could mark the top if we can't get over this. So tomorrow we will know exactly if this does roll over, and we need to break this prior pivot bottom right there for any weakness to continue. As for now, not enough price action yet to see. So AMD, I broke down AMD on this day, Tuesday, because one of you guys commented below that you guys wanted me to take a look at AMD. So I ended up doing that. And I was saying that this was a bull break, a weekly bull flag, breaking this weekly bull flag bullish list, confirming that weekly bull flag without follow through. So now that's a red flag for the bulls, because that should have been able to hold and continue. And we have came back all the way into it. Although we're still holding that 12 EMA tail looking line. You can see we're still trending on that 12 EMA looking line. We broke slightly below this pivot yesterday, but no follow through at the moment. So that can be dip buying here if QQQ does continue trending upwards. So we'll see if that happens. If not, then we may potentially confirm a daily downtrend later if we do break these levels. So now we'll have to see. So the semiconductor, you can see it's down. AMD is down 2.4%. QQQ is up like 1.2%. So that's a lot weaker compared to QQQ today. So also on Tuesday, it was also a lot weaker. So we're starting to see some relative weakness on AMD. And Nvidia is just today is the first day that's relatively weaker. So we'll see if it continues or not. Broadcom, it's still holding quite well, to my surprise, because this is what blow off top looks like. This candle right here. I'm surprised that the bulls actually bought the dip, and we are getting pretty close to all-time highs. And so there's not a lot of resistance above us, because this is it. It was just that one day where we, in the morning, came up and just sell all the way down. So there's not a lot of resistance. And same thing as Nvidia here. There's a double top in that yesterday's high. So if it doesn't get over, it's just that same ascending triangle look. Higher low, higher low, higher low. So we'll see which way it breaks, either this way or this way tomorrow. So we'll see. And so then I go to my where's my semi short? Let's see here. All right, so this is the stock that I'm looking to short, which is SOXS, is a semiconductor sector as a whole ETF. So why I'm looking to potentially just play a short here to, if I'm wrong, then I get stopped out, right? So you can see today we are actually red for the day. 0.83% red, while QQQ was up 1.2%. And usually semis are leading the tech sector. So usually if QQQ is up 1%, semis would be up like 2 to 2.5%, right? Just can see, you can see all these days here. Semis are up 9% in just 1.5 week. And look at this move, right? Semis are up 22% in just 1.5 week over here. We just have a slight consolidation. Now the bull flag confirmed, and now we are just starting to see a little bit of relative weakness. So I'm potentially just doing things that you're not supposed to do, playing counter trend while we don't have a downtrend yet. But I am just giving it one shot here, see if it is the potential top. And we are also testing the structure, low of the structure, and so I added XOXS, which is a 3x leverage ETF of that semiconductor sector, meaning if XOXX, which is the previous one I just showed you, drops 1%, this would go up 3%. So I showed you just 2 seconds ago that this SOXS semiconductor sector was down 0.83%. And you can see right here, today we are up 2.62%. That means we just times it by 3 of how much it went down by, and this will go up, inverse of XOXS. But when we chart the charts, we want to go to the main one, not the leverage one. We chart this while we play the other one. So that's a short. So I'm shorting. I'm buying XOXS, but so I want to see this go down. Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Yeah. So hopefully this is put in top. If it's not, then I just get stopped out on this complete sideways action today. You can see on the 15-minute chart, we went completely sideways while QQQ was moving higher. So this is relatively weakness for the first day. So I want to see this sideways break bear tomorrow when QQQ decides to consolidate maybe a little bit. That's my take on the play. So QQQ, I'll break that in a second. Actually, let's go to it right now because we are down to 3 AI stocks. So Q, that is not what I want to click. QQQ. Here, QQQ. So QQQ today is up 1.2%, and we just tested this exactly to this dot of this high right there. So we're testing this structure, it's high. And if we zoom out onto the weekly chart, we have ran insane, let's just say, put it that way. Even in a bull market, we don't run that much. Just look at this part, right? 18% on the COVID bull run. Now we are up 34% on this run. Actually started here, so straight up here from this part, 29%, and which is insane. So also we had a little bit of consolidation here, so this was good. So what we want to see is something like this for the bulls. Sideways, pull back, consolidate, weekly consolidation, and then potentially go up higher. And there will be lots of people buying this weekly consolidation. And once this dip, when we have this weekly consolidation like this, and then for the next move up. So we'll see how much of a pullback that's going to be. So now again, 0 red flags on the charts for bulls. Like I've been saying, this hourly downtrend needs to be the very first thing that the bears confirm. So we go to the hourly time frame and we have to form an hourly downtrend. So we don't have that yet, any of that yet. We need a big move like this, and then bounce, and then break the prior lows for that downtrend to confirm. So 0 signs of that yet. So if you're a bull, like walk up your stop loss on the weekly charts. If you don't know how to do that, check the video from yesterday that I posted on how to take profits, and you'll just continue to walk up your stops every time the weekly candle moves up, and then you'll just until one day that weekly candle breaks below your prior lows, you will stop out with profits. Let's take a look at SPY. SPY is the same thing, very similar to QQQ. We are so once QQQ starts to pull back, then we'll have to see how SPY pulls back as well. Same thing, hourly chart is your guide. If bears cannot confirm an hourly downtrend, bulls are 100% comfortable in full control. So you just don't want to fight the trend too much. The only reason I added the semiconductor short is because it's relatively weaker. So once QQQ starts to consolidate, it will drop a lot more than QQQ. That's the goal, obviously. But if it switches back tomorrow to relative strength, then I would get stopped out with a small loss. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the big techs. So Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft is the ones left. So Tesla, relatively weaker today. Surprisingly, we broke below the 12 EMA and we came back into it, and now we're still back above it. So that's a good sign for the bulls, and we're still above it, but it's relatively weaker today. You can see I've been talking about it yesterday too, being relatively weaker. So we're probably going to go sideways to a slight dip, and we're down 1.35% today, while QQQ is up 1.2. So now daily consolidation is on its way. One move up, the prior candle's low is broken, so now it's daily consolidation. So the size of this pullback is going to determine our next bounce. So far, it's still a very, very healthy pullback. Just take a look at from this A to B move. We have not even pulled back to the 0.23 6% yet. So as long as we are above 0.382, even if we pull back here, it's a bull flag on the weekly. So let's see, go to the weekly. Yeah, that'll be a weekly bull flag. So I'm gonna guess we're probably gonna pull back somewhere closer to here, and then maybe chop around and see where it wants to go first. So we'll see on that, and maybe we'll come down to fill this gap for the bears, and then chop around, form that bull flag, and then we'll see where the market heads. Right? If Tesla comes down here, and then QQ decides to consolidate and pull back, then obviously it's going to be a headwind for Tesla as well if QQ starts to slow down, right? So we got to be cautious when we're in these stocks. Be cautious of the index. That's the reason why we break down the market every day, because the index will 100% affect our stocks, depending on which way it's going. If it's helping us or going against us. Apple all-time high. Yesterday I talked about that. We're very likely testing all-time highs, and we broke it today. And same thing, 2-day EMA 12 still completely full bull control. And I wouldn't. This is the stock that you just want to go long on, but not here. I'm not saying like get along here, because we obviously want to have a pullback before we buy anything. Especially, you don't want to buy things just at all-time highs. Yeah, this 12 EMA 2-day. Go to 2-day time frame. Type in the exponential moving average in your indicator. Type 12. You'll get this line. Right now, it's just bouncing every single time we touch on it. We haven't even pulled back to it yet. So super strong with Microsoft today. That carried the entire market. Amazon a little bit weaker, but still holding its range. So as long as it can't get over this, that's the resistance over here. Couldn't get over here, couldn't get over here. Got over it one day, came back into it. So that's going to be the key level for me right here, around 127, which is high of Wednesday and Tuesday. So that's the level I'm looking at. And potentially we are bouncing off this 12 EMA as well. So if we do break this bottom level, we'll likely roll over. Break above here, we're going to come back up here to close to 229, 230 zone, where it was top of this zone and testing this zone as well. Right. Look at Google. Google is still the weakest of all the big techs. It's a little bit stronger today, but still in that sideways zone right here. Completely sideways. Red flag for this one right here. Bull break, zero follow through, came back into it, and potentially still a. Yeah, we retraced 50%. It can still be potential where we break down this, form a daily downtrend. Above the 50%, let's say we have a green candle here tomorrow, then most likely scenario on the next pullback, we're going higher. But if we cannot get over that 50% and we start dropping tomorrow again, then the most probable scenario is that we're potentially breaking down here. Obviously, if QQQ needs to pull back for that to happen, and as of now, no signs of that yet for QQQ. Microsoft bull break. Yesterday talked about this double top. So, and this double top level as well here. So if we do break that, and we are likely heading up to all-time highs, and that is pretty much what we did. Surprised we broke this one that fast as well. So we broke 2 levels of resistance. These list level 2, and now we're testing pretty much all-time highs. Exactly all-time high double top. So that's pretty much the only resistance left. Not a lot of resistance here because it's just one candle, but that is the only thing we'll be looking at now, because there's no other price action above this candle. So that is pretty much full bull control. And as same thing, trend will be your guide. Hourly, daily, weekly, monthly is all in an uptrend. So we don't want to fight it. You can fight it just for a scalp trade, but make sure to set your tight stop loss, as well as taking your profits quick. All right, that's what I got for you guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below, and feel free to subscribe. You guys made it this far, and as well as I'll update you guys tomorrow after. Oh yeah, tomorrow is quad witching day, so a lot of options are going to expire. So that's going to be very volatile, I would say. So we'll see, and I'll update you guys tomorrow. And have a great rest of you guys this weekend.